Virtually, at least.
Yes. Hi, Jordan. How are you?
Yo, what's up?
Not much. I'm in my new office. I'm very excited.
Oh, and for those who weren't blessed with, she wrote a song and played it as I hopped on the call to calm
Yes.
down my stressful day.
I didn't know if you were stressed or not, but I was strumming as I waited, and not with that sexy guitar. It's with another one. I have three.
That's impressive. I have two. One is hanging over there. I got like a cool skull hand holding it. It's like
Oh, cool.
and coming out of the wall, and it's my first ever electric guitar. And then I have another guitar sitting in a nice case, which I barely ever open and touch. So you're
Oh.
you're probably much better than me.
Well, it's funny. You'd think that I'm like this prolific guitar player because I have so many, but no. One's David's, my husband, which makes me look way cooler than I am.
David plays?
He had one once upon a time. I don't know how much he plays, but now I play it.
No
And
shit. All right.
I asked my parents for one for Christmas when I was a lot younger, and I got a really nice, like old school,
Ooh.
like this is for like Gypsy Kings. And,
Yeah.
I
dig it.
When I was learning, the neck is really wide, so I had a tough time. So I got a tinier one to learn. So now
Smart.
I have, yeah, and they sound different because one's metal, the chords. What's
Yeah,
it
the
called?
strings, nylon strings, and then you got
yeah.
steel strings, and
Yes.
yeah.
I'm like metal and wood. Yeah. So,
Honestly, it's like metal and plastic. It's pretty much, but like, dude, I remember my mom had some like old rusty acoustic guitar in the house. She never played it, like maybe once for us, but she played it when she was younger, when she wasn't busy, raising a bunch of kids
right.
and helping my dad with the business. But I remember trying to play it, and I'm like, I play for 10 minutes. I'm like, my fucking, or can we curse on this? My fingers.
Yeah.
My fingers are like bleeding. Like acoustic guitar players who play with steel strings, mad respect. Because like I like electric guitar because you don't need to press as hard. It's just like, you can kind of just gently tap that string down and
Yeah.
it vibrates the whole note through, where acoustic
Good point.
takes so much more effort.
Good point. Good point.
Mhm.
You inadvertently sort of did a raise line.
Which one?
She gets her fingers caught in something, and she goes like, "Ow, my finger!" Zzz."
Oh, yeah.
And the way you did it was just like, because I'm like, oh, I just didn't hit one, or I blew them off, or I almost
Yeah.
blew them off. It's
Yeah.
funny.
I should, it's probably subconscious because, yeah, Valorant's one of my favorite games. And
Oh, I forgot.
that's how I met you through that. So not to segue or anything, but that's how I found out, ladies and gentlemen, about Caro, is through Valorant. I happened to get secret access to like the early build because, you could probably figure out how that happened. And so I just to play it, just to try it out and to give feedback. And of course you were already in the game. I didn't know who the hell you were. All I know is that when the lines were going, I'm like, dude, because I'm a Counter-Strike player in my roots. And Valorant, pretty much took what Counter-Strike was great at and then made their own version of it and improved upon things. And what I loved is how they made the characters very interesting with the banter, and they just let every character really go wild. And David did a great job with that. But yeah, I remember just hearing your lines and your ults and everything. I'm like, dude, this girl is fucking awesome.
Oh my
She
gosh.
went for it in the booth. I don't know who the hell she is. And then years later we meet.
Yes,
Not today, everyone, but it's
years
years ago.
we did meet years later, which wasn't today. But I didn't know that you had gotten to play early, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Yeah, and then David did talk wonders about you and Mara. So then I was like, oh, cool. And that's when I knew of you, but we hadn't met.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so you're a gamer at heart.
yeah, but like very linear with blinders on. Like there's there's all these gamers. I mean, they're like, oh yeah, I like play Diablo 3 on Mondays, and then I play like they spread out like all these types of games because they're much more I don't know, better sponge than I am. Whereas I am like, I just want to shoot. I want to point and click and shoot things. Like anything that's where I have to have inventory of like, here's a basket and you have 15,000 items, stresses me out. Like RPGs and stuff. I'm going to push myself this year. But shooters is where like that's so when I say gamer, it's like I'm just kind of a shooter guy. Very competitive though. I'm very competitive.
But still, like I think I would almost think that most people are more into RPGs or they find those easier. Like shooters, I find hard. So I
Yeah, I
admire
know.
that you're.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Overwatch, or they feel very different?
I bought Overwatch like in probably 2019 when I got back into PC gaming because I had this huge hiatus from like 2008 to 2019, and I bought it and I played maybe like 2 hours of it and it was cool. And I probably heard you. Were you in the launch when it came out?
No, Sombra came out a little bit later, like 8 months into the game.
Oh, then I definitely, yeah, I probably heard you yelling some
Yeah,
line in the game, but
yeah.
I played literally for like 2 hours. That's the
Oh,
most I played
no,
it
no.
was.
I guess I was just curious because that's like you said what you liked. So,
Yeah.
not to very obviously segue, but like one of the biggest video games right now and most exciting ones is Marvel Rivals.
hmm
Maybe you've heard of it.
Marvel,
Marvel.
Marvel
It's this big like IP, and they have
Rivals.
all these heroes.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I
it's a
recently
thing I
joked
did.
and said that Apex Legends was an indie, and the internet came down on me. So I have to be very careful with my
Dude,
sarcasm.
you don't even know. Yeah, like I did. I wasn't even being sarcastic, but I said something about a character in an interview that was like edited tightly, so the context was kind of missing, and everyone was like
So
taking my
funny.
statement. They're like, "That's bullshit." No,
It's
like,
that's
yeah.
not what
I
I meant.
I said Squirrel Girl requires some form of precision in
Oh,
everyone, and it's apparently that's a very easy character, meaning how dare you say she requires like skill, and everyone
yeah.
lost their mind in the comments, and I'm
Oh
like, I
gosh.
wasn't. It was like just me casually hanging out, and anyway, I had my reasons for saying it because she's a lobber. You have to lob the acorns instead of point and do a narrow shot, but still, I got roasted for saying that.
Well, obviously you are allowed to have your own opinion too. So
Doesn't feel like it sometimes
Uh,
by how serious people
yeah,
take it, but
yeah,
yeah, but
true.
it's all good. It's just a game, y'all. It's all a game.
So I know that you have talked about this a lot, but when you auditioned for Adam Warlock, did you know exactly what you were auditioning for and what this character was? Or because of the code names, you were like, I don't know.
No, good question. Because yeah, every game varies. Sometimes they're like this, like here's a link to the trailer, and it has 8 million views, and so sometimes they let you know everything, right?
Yeah.
And none of the games, it's like I don't know what the hell's going on. This was more in between, where it was very clear it was Marvel. They had art, so there was a
Mm,
picture of Adam Warlock in other characters that we got to audition for, but it's just like a comic book lift, because they have all these iterations of these characters for decades, and there was a picture, the version they wanted, and the only version I had to go off of for the most part was the MCU version in the Guardians movie.
right.
And it was very different than what was in the audition that I got. As far
Oh,
as like
okay.
because he was kind of a man child, where he's just like I just want to do what I want, mother. Whereas this one, in this iteration, they wanted very chill and
Oh,
very
cool.
very very stoic, serious, and with a big heart and a big soul.
That's
Um,
you.
so, hey, yeah, sure, we'll go with that. I don't take compliments well sometimes, but
No,
thank
no,
you.
I feel like you're very stoic. Can sometimes some people take it negatively, but it's like you're deep and you're thoughtful and you have heart and you're also chill.
Eh,
I think so, but
no,
I
thank
could be
you.
wrong.
No, it's I can yeah, I'm wacky, but yes, I can I care very deeply about people
Yes,
and
yes,
justice and wanting the good people to win. Let's put it
yeah.
that way. So yes.
So were you freaking excited when you booked this?
Yeah, but yes, but as you know, we don't know what anything's ever going to turn into. You never
True.
know how big it is.
Yeah.
I've done other Marvel projects. There's a lot of Marvel projects from little tiny games that don't even get released in the US, right?
Yeah.
So, I was very excited. I was like, cool. And you record it. It was just one session. I think it was maybe 3 hours max. And then all the next thing I see my face via YouTube at San Diego Comic-Con 2024, just giant screens with the cast announcements with like my headshot for my IMDb profile. Just like, and the voice of Adam Warlock is Jordan Reynolds, and then and voice of Storm, Mara June. And we're like, what the
Oh,
what?
how cool.
So
That's
then that's
exciting.
when I was like, and then the reaction to people who played the beta, like the hardcore gamers they gave access to, who can give their best judgment of it, who have a
Yeah.
lot of experience on the game, their excitement. I'm like, ooh, okay, now this could be big. This
Yeah.
could be big.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's kind of like, you never know. And that's what a lot of people think, like you think you're getting into. It's like if you're working, it's more obvious for like film or something, right? Where it's like, we're working on Indiana Jones 6. You want to be a part of it, Caro?
But sometimes those flop.
Oh, exactly.
And so
But
then
at
you're
least
like,
you,
oh.
yeah. Yeah,
At least you got paid for the time on set. You probably had a good time on set.
Exactly.
But yeah, you
Yeah.
never know if they're gonna do well, right?
Yeah. And same with like Overwatch, right? Did you and of course Valorant. Honestly, I think Overwatch, you had some idea, I'm guessing, because you're like, well, it's a big company. Blizzard's big, so maybe this will be big.
But I had
But
worked on I had worked for Rockstar Games doing Red Dead 2, GTA 5, and Max Payne 3. Again, they
Cool.
weren't main characters. And I
Yeah.
think at the time, still people were like searching for the voices or who had done the mocap for that. So it kind of didn't matter. So I was like, well, great, this is another gig. And I knew that Blizzard was a good company, but I didn't Google the project because I thought everything had code names. I think by then they
Yeah.
had already said it was Overwatch, but I didn't Google it because I'm like, well, I'm not
Yeah.
going to know anyway.
Honestly, that sounds like a code name. Like,
Yeah.
let's keep it real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Code names can be very usually one syllable words.
Yes.
And I know that's two, but cut me some
And
slack.
so I just was like, okay. And then, but so I think it's better sometimes when you don't know that it's a big company because you just do the work. You don't freak out about it. You know what I mean? You let
Yeah.
it be.
Yeah. Submit it and forget it. That's what I
Yeah.
did not coin that, but some coach said that at some point in my training. Submit and forget. I know
Yeah.
it doesn't fully rhyme, but Eminem could make it rhyme somehow.
Submit and forget.
Yeah. Submit and forget. But
Yeah.
submit and forget him. I cannot rap. But that's there's some guy who did like a parody of Eminem, like trying to like they're using too many napkins, and he made and Eminem thought it was so funny, and then Logic put who Logic the rapper is.
Yeah.
I love Mara and I adore him. He took this guy, a comedian, doing his Eminem impression, and then put it at the end of a Logic and Eminem collab song. So this at the end of it, it's so anyway. So Mara and I like quote that guy all the time. We're using too many napkins. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I love the internet for reasons like that. Like,
Yeah.
when else would these guys have heard this kid making this,
Yep.
impression of him? That's so great.
What about for
Wait, talking about
Valorant
impressions, do you do impressions?
though? A
Sorry.
few. Yeah. I could.
Oh, can we have some fun, please?
Go for it. If you want to, I know you have a really sharp ear and can do lots of accents and everything too.
Oh, I
so-
do accents, but not impressions. I do like
bet
I
you
try
could do
to
some.
imitate and it doesn't go well.
Oh,
What
even
impressions
funny.
do you do? Show me, tell me.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we could just do ones that I've been paid to do.
Yeah.
I've done Bill Hader, and the secret to doing Bill Hader is what's actually fascinating about Bill Hader is that he is really a good impressionist himself.
Yeah.
But his natural voice is like you hear this and you don't think he could do anything else with it.
That's funny. That's great.
Right?
That's great. Yes.
What about you? Your turn.
Your turn. No,
Even if it's bad.
I tried to. We auditioned for voice matching, right? And so I had
Yeah.
to audition to voice match Cardi B. And oh my god, like I listened to her. So my name's Cardi. Is because they used to call me Bacardi, but then Bacardi the drink. They kept blocking my Instagram, so then it just turned into Cardi and then Cardi B. That's not her, but I was like trying to channel my best New Year weekend, and like I can't. So like it turns into a character. It's like her cousin, but it's
Dude,
not her.
she is a character, dude.
She is insanely wonderful to watch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No. You got like what the key is though is you're locking into the essence, right? So and that's the key to booking because this work is still out there. AI, yes, is taking more and more of these jobs in a way. But if you're a master impressionist, meaning not just like it's a party trick, but you convincingly can sound like that actual person, and no one would know it's not them. Not because it's a funny joke, but because like they're talking about what they ate this morning for breakfast.
Right.
That's what I learned after years of auditioning for the sound-alike work that we get to audition for, and that is I would focus so much on the tone and the voice, and instead of like what is their essence, right? And, right.
Good.
So Bill is just like if I had the placement is hard to ignore or like Jason Momoa, like I don't sound like for Jason Momoa, and he has, but like when he's talking, he's like. This is his normal voice, but when he's cast, if his shirt's going to be off, he's going to be talking like this. And he's going to be staring into your soul until you give him what he wants. Right?
And a lot of ladies are going to drop their panties.
I think that's a Cardi song, a Cardi lyric. Yes, right? But what is the essence, right, of Momoa? At least he has a lot of flavors, but like that I call that he's just sexy and just like intense, but not fat.
Yeah,
he's just like I'm gonna get what I want and I'm gonna take my time with it. I'm not in any rush. Whereas like Bill Hader, he's just kind of anxious and awkward. So if you go into that and then find the vocal placement of it.
Cool.
So like with your Cardi B, you were really nailing just like where you're just like off the cuff. Cardi B is off. She does not think before she speaks.
Right. Which is so fabulous. It's so fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Again, I did a demo for Sofia Vergara once, but they just wanted to show her what a commercial would look like, and like really, it's just like I just have to channel the Colombian accent, and then like talking about stuff, and like when she thinks something's gross, like she kind of does like a little rat face. I don't know how to explain it, but like it's not her. I'm just like channeling a persona, and again, then it helps me create characters. But I don't think I would feasibly voice match her.
You never know. You never know because like you just talking to other voice actors and stuff that they'll talk like how you're talking.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, maybe they've booked out of the 200 they've ever auditioned for, they booked 2 of them.
Yeah.
And just because they happen and they're like, I don't even feel like it's the right one. And frankly, some of the stuff I've booked, I'm like, I didn't think it was great.
Right.
And some of the ones I think are fantastic, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to book this. I never book them. Rarely. Some of them I do.
Crazy?
But yeah.
Who else have you matched or auditioned for that you're like, oh, that was pretty solid?
I've done I can't remember. I don't listen to him often, but I've done Jake Paul. Like I think Jake Paul, he's just kind of like he just sort of sounds like he's super bro-y. You know who Jake Paul is?
I'm gonna look.
You're gonna notice. Everyone, if anyone watches this, they're gonna be like, you're the only person on planet Earth who doesn't know who Jake Paul is.
Professional boxer and influencer.
Him and his blonde brothers blew up. Do you remember Vine?
Yes.
I think they blew up from Vine.
There's just things that I'm like, oh yeah, that guy, but I'm not like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Paul Giamatti. He's just always. What are we gonna do? Wow. Yeah. It's like, can someone get me some Pinot? Some Pinot. Yes. Okay. I've done.
He doesn't do Merlot, correct?
Yeah, I think some shit. Yeah, I just made up a
No,
wine.
The Sideways
Yeah,
movie
it blew up. Oh, I know. I was pulling from that, but I don't remember the specifics.
Oh, no, but I liked it because it was adjacent.
Yes, that was the attempt. And then last but not least, well, just to move the conversation forward, I got to voice a Happy Meal toy. This is from Ron's Gone Wrong, the film, but and it's voiced by Zach Galifianakis, and Zach is primarily known for really sleazy, or he's very raunchy and vulgar.
Yeah.
So all I had was a movie trailer to go off of, and I had to read 20 pages of copy as this character who has like 5 lines in a trailer. And what's different is Zach is very friendly. It's a kids movie. So, and he's actually a robot. So he's like, hey, hello, Caro. Is that a car? I would like to drive it. Let's go. Ha ha ha. Right. So I got to.
It's so good. It's so great.
So I'm like, I'm a Happy Meal toy, which is crazy to think about. So.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
It's definitely my favorite kind of work. For
when
sure.
did you discover that you were good at these? Like, you have a delicious voice. It's just there. It's delightful. In Spanish, we would say delicioso. Like, not just as in food, but like to listen to it is delightful. And so that's one thing. But then, like, you're obviously very talented. When did you start going like, oh, I can do this? Like, this is a true talent.
My earliest memory is just my older sisters. I have 4 sisters, and 3 of them are older than me. And they would 2 in particular, they would like make me they would just hear me doing Simpsons impressions, because that's like, we had no cable TV or anything, so we would record everything on a tape and we just watch the same shit over and over.
Oh, so fun.
Right? So but you really get to hear, when you hear stuff on repeat, you can get really good at it. So I think they've always wanted me to do, I can't even remember the doctor's name, not Hubbard, like not the Homer, not him, but the other guy, like, hi everybody, that guy. You know what I'm talking about? I can never remember his name.
I don't know the Simpsons names at all.
It's all right. So Jake Paul, Simpsons, that's strike 2, everyone. Just Jake Paul's very important. You need to know him. But
so you forget that I grew up in South America. I know. We didn't get all of the pop culture. It would take a few years to make it down there, and then it would also be shown on TV dubbed.
Oh, right. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
And it changes names. It changes a lot of things. I'm just saying.
No. You have a good. How dare?
I have a great excuse.
I know. It's like, how dare the rest of the world not know what America is doing at all times?
People love The Simpsons though in Latin America. Mexicans like adore it, but they adore the dubbed version. Just saying. So
yeah, I bet. And I think one of the cons I went to she was the Spanish voice of like Marge or something. I can't remember, but they were there. So it's so cool. But
sorry,
no. But so it was really my sisters like egging me on doing different voices, and I loved making them laugh. And then I would impersonate some teachers in school, but in particular, his name was, God bless him if he ever sees this, but his name is Mr. Sperry, and he was an English teacher, and I recall him sounding something like this, like he had kind of like a congested sort of sound, and he was such a sweet guy, and I probably drove him crazy because I was kind of a clown in class at times. So I never like would impersonate him to his, but if he would leave the room like, okay, everyone, turn the page, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God, so good.
So, and then people would laugh. So it's like, ooh, something's there. And then I just tucked that away for years. And then it came back out once I started getting into voiceover, probably a decade later after that. So,
but did you say I'm going to go study acting or
no?
No,
No, I thought I
what did you
was
think you were gonna
worthless.
pursue? I thought nobody's worthless.
No, I know. I'm just being candid. Like I was miserably, deeply depressed. I didn't want to live. I'm not trying to make this all dramatic, but I did not want to be on this planet anymore because I just thought my self-worth was so low. It's just for a multitude of reasons, but mostly just through school. You know, did you do good in school?
I was a nerd because I knew that good grades would get me far in life. Not that I loved it, but I was a nerd. Yeah.
So did I, but it clearly didn't give me enough motivation, sadly. So yeah, I did all my score testing and everything was bad. And she was very sweet. I'll never forget my high school counselor saying, yeah, so you didn't do so well on the ACT, which is, there's two big tests here in the U.S. ACT and SAT.
Yeah, I did the SAT.
Okay, you did it? All right. So
college,
I didn't. So they said, so she was like, your ACT was a little rough and your grades are rough in general. So I think it's best you just don't do the SAT. Like she just didn't want me to embarrass myself essentially. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, I'm fucked. Like I am going to be worthless in this world. Like my only skill was building computers and I had a sharp musical ear. But I'm like,
building computers is not easy. That's hard.
I know. So luckily that's where I went. So even though I was very creative in a very creative family, musical family, the only job making music is to be a superstar or to be a teacher. And I'm like, the odds of me being a superstar in random Colorado where I was raised is zilch. And I do not want to be a professor. So let me just go with this computer thing. And then that's what I ran off of. And then once I had money to pay bills, then I'm like, all right, let's go to this voiceover thing I've been thinking about for a while. So.
And you were living in LA?
No, Colorado. I built my career in Colorado. Yeah.
Okay. And so what kind of voiceovers were you finding there?
Just all on the internet. Just everything that, wasn't in the LA bubble. So training videos, phone systems. I've done so many phone systems for just a random doctor's office in Ohio or wherever. It's like, thanks for calling, Dr. Joe's. Press 1, right? Pays like $50, right? So but all the way from commercials too. So and Mara did the same thing in Louisiana. So we built our careers not knowing each other in non-major markets, had a stable full-time career, then pursue the LA thing because we're not like giant risk takers like that.
Well, I'm going to backtrack though. This is like, look, we have a lot of cool listeners on our TikTok and our Insta that might be going through some mental health issues or not knowing how they're going to pursue a career. And like, I know that you're like, now you're far away enough from it where, you're kind of laughing and saying like, oh, it's that was my past. But it's really amazing that you overcame that and that you found something that you are really passionate about and that you adore and that you're good at. And so you wake up, hopefully, excited every day to do it.
Yeah. Yes. No, absolutely.
That's badass. Yeah, no, and most people also
very, very fortunate.
Study it you came to it in such a different way that's really impressive.
Yeah, but we're not the only ones. That's the thing is like there's conferences where, you fly. There's this conference called FAFCon. And so it'd be like in Arizona or in Ohio or Oklahoma, just random places that weren't like a major place. And it was mostly voice actors who don't live in LA or New York. They live in Idaho and they do audiobooks or they do training videos and they make $300,000 a year just doing like that, right? Yes, because they're great business people. I know, right? So like kind of money that LA people love to have, trying to build, just pursuing. I just want to be in a game. I just want to be on a show, and there's no harm in that. But that's a long game if you want to pay all your bills just doing that route. You got to put your eggs in multiple baskets in voiceover. They exist. They still exist, and that's all we had access to because we didn't live in LA or New York. So we had no choice but to do the unsexy stuff, Well,
what a great training though. Like you know what
run
I'm
a
saying?
business.
Like it taught you so much.
Oh yeah, all the
But also,
business stuff.
how do you use your voice? Because if you're doing an audiobook, you're recording for hours a day. You got to learn how to not wear out your voice or when to do vocal rest. You know, because
Which I've not done audiobooks. It's like the only thing I haven't done. So, but yeah, have you done any like long form stuff? Audio.
No, I would suck at audiobooks. I haven't really tried, but I don't think it's my jam. I got ADD. I don't know that I can
Yeah,
handle it.
yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
but no, but let's say I'm sure you recorded tons of training videos one day,
Yeah.
or like you
Oh
got
yeah.
so much work at some point, and still now, where you're just going from one sentence to the other. So you do have to be careful with your voice, unless your voice is just magical and it never gets tired.
No, it's not, man. I've struggled with like bad allergies to this day. I'm still getting allergy shots to help like the postnasal drip because it wrecks the vocal cords. And like
Yes.
in my early 20s, my voice was actually kind of like this. It was like this really round sort of like two reasons. One, and you know, not to make her down, is like I was in that relationship at that time, in my ex marriage, just like I feel like I didn't have a voice, so it really
No
took a toll on me.
pun
You know,
intended.
yeah. So it literally like
Wow.
manifested to where I just felt like I couldn't speak up without being, you know,
Wow.
flinched at it, for lack of a better term. And so I felt like and especially that came from being young and insecure, and that just carried with me to not. So I kind of like kept it down here, and also just
Yeah.
wanted to sound more masculine because I never felt masculine enough. And then on top of that, though, the allergies wear down the vocal cords
Yep.
from inflammation and postnasal drip, and that will naturally make your voice more resonant, not pingy like my voice sounds now. Hi, you know, this is my normal pinginess voice.
Pinginess
Whereas it
voice.
used to just kind of sound a lot like this. Yeah.
That guy up there, does he do a lot of animation, or like what does he book?
I don't honestly not as much as I'd like.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of I'm sure you've been pushed, and I'd like to know after I answer this, like what you've been pushed into, where it's like you and I'm not complaining at all, but there's just certain things that, you know, certain directors or things might like, and they'll just say lower. Can you go lower? Can you go lower, deeper? I'm like, well, okay, yeah, no problem. We'll just keep going.
When you got that bass though, like, yeah, do you want that? I get it. I'm not.
They take advantage of it, yeah.
Okay.
So, but this honestly, like more quirky characters, like or just younger characters, like there's this game called Lost Ark, and I voiced Benny, and he has a prosthetic arm, and he's actually just whining all the time, and he just wants to feel important. He tries to help you with a map at the beginning of the game. I looked him up on Reddit, and a lot of people hate him, and I'm very sad to hear
he just
that.
wants to have a cup of tea. And
But
enjoy
in
some crumpets.
you're correct. But in the gamer's defense, he does whine quite a bit, and he won't shut up about
Yeah,
his
no
arm.
one wants a whiner. But what a fabulous, fun character. you
Yeah.
know?
So it's and definitely no, I get to use it more than I think, if I think about it. There's in Infinity Nikki, it's more like a cartoon. He's really sleepy sort of character. So yeah, I'm not going to torture you that with 2 minutes, but yeah. So I get to use it more than if I
you've got
break them
some
down. So
really diverse characters. They're super fun.
how about you?
So
Like
different.
it's fun. Yeah, you always, as an actor, it feels so good to be able to stretch that. And
Yeah.
speaking of though, in your language, how often do you get to utilize, like out of all the roles that you book in your voice stuff, your mastery of accents? Like I have some generic accent stuff in my pocket, but nothing like you. Yours, especially because you speak 4 languages. Yeah.
Yes, and they help because I never really study. You know how some people do study accents with the little phonetic drawings.
Yeah, I
whatever
can't
it's
do
called.
that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. I listen and imitate. So like literally
Same.
my New Year weekend was because like I was like on the subway and I kept observing all the Puerto Ricans from New York, and so like yo estaba oyendo que yo hablaba así on the metro, and like they switched from español to English, and so I just started picking it up, right?
Yeah.
So she doesn't live in a video game yet, but that would be super fun. My New Year weekend. But my Venezuelan Spanish. Well, my Spanish has helped. Like I played the mother in a Disney show, and she was the mom of the family from Venezuela. So
Which show?
like I just it's called Hamster and Gretel for
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah. Big
And
show.
so it's like a bicultural family, and I just sort of channeled my mom's friend who's got a very deep voice, super smart, like super accomplished woman, but she just talks down right here, and like she's from Venezuela, so I just had to like implement that sing song that they have. It's very different.
Yeah.
And then if you're from Spain, then Penelope Cruz is kind of who I think about, and so
Can you go as deep as Penelope? That's the question.
I mean, I don't know that I can go that low,
Dude,
but
that's
but
her
I
voice
do,
is so low.
Yeah. My character Andaratea in Dragon Age, the Veilguard, is from like made up Spain. So I kind of do this, for the whole thing. They have like heavier S's.
Yeah.
And then I feel like
more forward.
Colombian is very square. Like I don't want to say square as in boring, but like somehow the accent is like it's not like a dance. It's more like very like particular. I don't know how to explain, but it's from Colombia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of just mess with them. And then Brazil is very different. It's really like a song, and they have to like dance samba as they talking English. So I kind of just, I channel them, but I study them auditorily, but not like intellectually.
I'm the same. Like I wish, you'd think like, right. Like I build computers. I'm a nerd, right? That I would be the type to be really good at that because I'm very, very good at technical stuff, like with computers and things like that, right? But in terms of like learning, trying to apply that to something creative, I'm just now having kind of the epiphany. When I've attempted to read that phonetic shit where it's like this A has this little thing and there's this symbol that implies a oh, not an eh. I'm like, dude, I can't learn like this. Like Mara tells me the story of how she went to college when she was young to study music because she loved music, how it made her feel. It's like we talk about all the time how it's like just gotten us through just hard times. Like music is so deeply important to Mara and I, and our whole life. And I know you too, and David, y'all got great taste in music. But she went to college to want to study it and to get better at it. And she's like, it beat the hell out of me because it was like, here is the structure of a perfect song. Yeah. And then like all of the technical part of it, she's like, I think she lasted maybe a year or two max and she dropped out because it just killed the joy of it.
I had an acting coach that
I just mindlessly read Killjoy on your post. I'm so sorry. I just read Killjoy on your post.
Yeah,
I think I said it kills the joy. I know. That's so weird. I wonder if I subconsciously said that. Forgive me. That just blew my mind.
But it does kill the joy.
Yes.
And right now I take music lessons every week, guitar lessons. And
no shit.
The cool thing about, because I learned only 2 years ago, but I like to meet with the teacher weekly because he forces me to at least, if that week I didn't play at all, at least that hour I'm focused.
Yep.
And I'll request songs. I'm like, I want to work on this one in Italian, or I want to do this one in Portuguese. And sometimes I show up to class and I'm like,
wait, you're learning a guitar in Portuguese? What do you mean? Because you want to play and sing?
Play and sing. Sorry.
Okay.
A song.
You're like, I want to play in Portuguese.
I want to play No.
Sorry,
yes, sing. But I get motivated if I really love that song.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit there for hours. But if the song's like, I don't love this, I'll. But I do call it music therapy because it makes me so happy. And I feel like we let stuff out. And sometimes I feel like I'm a gypsy king. And even if I'm not playing as well as them, it feels like I'm a rock star.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's, if anyone out there is considering instruments, I feel like the guitar just makes me so happy.
Electric specifically? Or acoustic?
No, I think I love the nylon strings.
Yeah. There's something just very organic, even though it's some plastic from my understanding. All that aside, the wood and the resonance that this instrument is creating this sound by itself without the aid of electricity and and a giant speaker, right? There's something you feel very connected to the instrument, I think.
However, when I'm playing Maria from Blondie, tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
tick, 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 like I'm a rock star.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, I wanted to ask you about some projects that maybe you don't talk about as much. What the heck is Transformers Galactic Trials?
Think of I think it's a game no one knows about. At least it feels like it, but it definitely has a player base. Think Mario Kart, but Transformers.
Oh, super fun. Okay, yeah, that's fun. That's
so they wanted sound-alikes for, I'm not sure which iteration. I feel so ashamed. Like, I'm definitely of the generation that should have watched Transformers. Did they have Transformers on in Colombia?
Yeah, Los Transformers. Yes.
Los Transformers.
Yeah. Thundercats was Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Thundercats. Yeah.
Thundercats.
But Yeah, you know how sometimes just maybe you watched one thing and so you didn't watch Transformers. Like sometimes there's a lot of content out there.
But honestly, back then there wasn't.
I
my
get
my,
it.
my excuse, because we didn't have the internet and shit yet, right? So my excuse was we didn't have cable, but I'm pretty sure that was like on prime time, like on probably NBC or something. But anyways, I didn't know which iteration the game was, but they had references and they wanted. So I auditioned for a bunch of of the Transformer characters where they like, we wanted to sound like this version. Here's the audio. Try to match it. And one was Wheeljack, and he's pretty much just like a bro, and he just kind of, hey guys, let's go, let's break some shit. I want to win the race, right? So he's super chill, a little hype, but not like super big. And then they have kind of the big baddie in the game, which is like an evil version, if you will, of Optimus Prime, named Nemesis Prime, where essentially they needed him to sound very dark and evil and eat that damn microphone. So that was really fun.
Wow.
So I got to play two characters. So very different, right? It's like, hey man, I'm Wheeljack and I'm Nemesis Prime. So
Nemesis Prime.
Nailed it.
I can't. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Hey, they're gonna come out with like a female skin, just like they did in the Rivals fans. They have Loki, and they came out with the Lady Loki skin. It's just a skin with a voice pack, and it's Abby Trott doing a British Loki.
But I thought the whole character was female Loki. What do you mean?
No, it's a skin. I know. I thought it was the same too. I thought they added Lady Loki as an official character in the game.
Yes, me too.
Nope, it's a skin.
That's so unfair.
I know. So all the voice. I know. Isn't that wild?
So you got to be playing Loki to get the female Loki skin?
Yeah, you buy the. I can't explain how it works, but yes, it's a skin, and you play as her though. Like, so you're playing in the game, and all you hear is Abby as Lady Loki.
Right.
It's wild.
Whoa.
So yeah, so they could do that. We could get you a Nemesis Prime skin and Transformers.
Yeah, no, I have a low voice for a chick, but like the things you're doing, like I don't know how you get down there. That's crazy.
I didn't know until honestly, Carl, like just the auditions we get. Like I talk about it often with people who want to. Those of you who are aspiring voice actors. No one's holding you accountable, right? No one's waiting on you for an audition when you're first starting.
Right.
So it is very hard to get that self-motivation because it's all on you to get in front of your microphone at your desk and just start practicing stuff. So what I encourage you to do is just practice, just try all different kinds of voices, impersonating. You need to flex your instrument. I've heard you talk about it before, how, just like mimicking other people in your life. And you won't realize what your voice is capable of doing until you just start pushing it into weird places. And that's how I've discovered that I could get down there. I used to be able to do it like 10, 12 years ago, but it would hurt because I was doing it the wrong way. Yeah. I couldn't break it down to you, right? Just like with the phonetics of accents. Yep. I don't know how the hell I do it, but I can do this and it doesn't hurt at all. But it sounds like it's ripping my throat apart, right? It's not. But about 5 years ago, I probably couldn't do that without it being like, ah.
But I think I naturally, when I'm telling a story, I'll be like, so I was talking to my friend. I'm trying to think of who I do imitate, but like when I was a kid, my parents' friend was her name was Karen, and she was from Germany, and so she would talk about the strawberries out in her garden, and I would just imitate that. So it's not like I know how to do a German accent. I just would be like, and she would talk about the woodchucks that would want to eat her strawberries. So lovingly, we called her Woodchuck in our family.
Oh, that's so funny.
Because she was just the sweetest. But so I kind of just like take the essence of the person and then channel, but I don't, And so then you're like, oh, all of a sudden I can do some sort of European accent. And so then you start working on them, I heard Anna Gasteyer recently say that when she does impressions while she's singing, she usually like lets free more and she's like almost sings better. Like when she's imitating Shakira or when she's imitating, versus like when she's just trying to sing as Anna. And I feel like, of course, when I imitate Shakira, I'm like, and I'm like, I'm not thinking I can't sing. Shakira can sings, therefore I can, instead of like, oh, Carolina's struggling with this,
Can you not sing? You don't feel like, because I don't know you well enough to know, like, I've never heard you.
I can carry a tune, and like Anjali explained it the other day, which made perfect sense. I'm like a indies like singer-songwriter that like can sing with her guitar. Yeah. But, like I will not make it to Broadway singing. I don't sing that well.
That's next level. That's how I feel. Like that's how I would categorize myself. Like I can.
I go, I want to sing like this character.
But don't make me sing in Trolls like the main little troll princess.
Yeah,
chick.
like
You know what
I'm
saying?
so happy. Yeah, it's just like that perfect Broadway. It's
You just did that.
I can imitate it, but like sustaining it, right, and doing a whole like sure,
Yeah.
and maybe with some more training, I know I could fine tune it and get pretty good, but I just haven't made that time to make that happen. But yeah, it's singing. Singing is definitely Mara and I are always we got to do some karaoke night. We got to get David to sing.
Yeah, let's.
Has David ever done karaoke?
I'm sure he has. No, we haven't done it together. But David sings. It's just he sings very rarely in front of me. He had a scholarship at college.
I know. I'm just. This is what you're. I forgot. I did. This is what I'm remembering. I'm like, of course he can.
Yeah,
We're gonna make karaoke night happen.
Let's do it.
At our place.
But I did talk to either Bob Bergen said this or one of those guys who does way too many cool animations. Like always audition for a song in character. Like don't say, oh, I can't sing, I won't do it, because you never know if they like that character so much. They'll book you and you'll sing in your little character voice, or they'll find somebody to sing for you. And so I'm like, I always just throw my hat in the ring.
Always.
You never know.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Because a lot of these animation, specifically, animation auditions, a specific studio will always request that you sing, and they just like say any song, any pop song of your choice.
Yeah.
And I always have like a mini meltdown because I'm like, oh, I don't want to submit what I did last month to the same casting director. So what do I do now? Do you have a go-to song?
I should, because every once in a while I go, oh, that sounded pretty good, I should keep it, and then I don't. Once I sang Sugar. Oh, honey.
Yeah.
Why? Because I think the character liked sugar.
That's cute. Works. Ties in.
No, I've been working it, but no, I don't have a go-to.
Mine is do you know Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah.
I only know the movie growing up. I still haven't seen it like in a play form or musical form, but which is where it comes from, right? Yeah, it came from that. It was that first.
Yes.
Don't kill me, Broadway fans. I think it was there and then a movie. But anyways, I only know Rick Moranis' version. So I don't really I'm not like channeling Rick per se, but just like I just love the Grow For Me song. I've given you sunlight, I've given you rain. Something now you're not happy, so I'll open a vein. So I get to whimper, cry, whine. It gives me all this like juice to work with to make up for me not being a perfectly on pitch, holding the note for 4 bars Broadway singer. Right.
Well, I also I think I've done Riptide, the Joy Vance. Because my character then will throw in little things in, and they're always quirky, so I kind of work it in where I have like little ad libs. But I should just like have these staple songs that I know, oh, they work really well for me. Let's keep them. But I'll choose like a Shakira, like old school Shakira in Spanish, if the character's like Hispanic, so they can see that I speak Spanish. So I kind of, I tailor them.
Mm-hmm. No, you gotta have your go-tos, but having like coming up with a new song each time, I have a meltdown for sure.
And I'm sure singers are just like, oh, let me just look through my book.
I know.
Do this one, and you're like,
Let me read all the sheet music that I am well versed and trained for because I have a master's.
Yes. Yeah.
I seriously, I'll do respect, all respect. Like I think Broadway performers are just, they're just so I just have so much respect for how good they can sing and then act on top of it and remember
and
your marks and dance. Yes, yeah, and all the choreo. It's just it is such an ultimate
also,
skill.
like at the end of a convention, when we go out to a bar at night or to have dinner, or at the end of the 3 days, like my voice is really tired, and I used to be like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not a Broadway singer, because like so many of my Broadway friends would be like, oh, I can't go to the bar tonight. I'm I got to sing tomorrow, and I'd be like, oh, they can't have fun. But now as a voice actor, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to go to that bar because I'm going to be screaming to talk to my friends and I'm going to lose my voice.
Yep. It sucks.
And so now it's like, oh, shoot, I turned into one of those people. I still go out. I have fun, but like,
No, and you got to know what it's kind of freaky how like in tune we are with our instrument, because like we're so protective of it, but we're like, but I want to have fun. So there's just been, but for aspiring voice actors, don't do some, if you have like a big gig coming up or like a big audition you still haven't recorded, really be mindful that you don't go out to the bar for 4 hours and then cut that audition when you get home because your voice is going to sound probably a lot more husky, and you may not have an ear yet that's trained to be able to hear those nuances of your voice that changed. And then when you book that audition, they might have fallen in love with the huskiness of your voice, and you may not be trained enough to recreate that without just burning your voice out, which you don't want to. You hear those stories like in Hollywood where they're like, yeah, and or like John Lennon in Twist and Shout. Take it all, baby, twist and shout. It's a great song, but his voice sounds so awesome on it because he blew it out they were rehearsing it all day or some other songs. So that's what you were hear. It wasn't an affectation.
Right.
So he blew his voice out but it sounded so cool.
Well, so I was having vocal issues years ago. I actually had to take my tonsils out.
Oh, fun. Did you get to eat like endless ice cream and all that? No?
No.
I thought that's what you do. Oh.
That's not what you do.
I clearly still have my tonsils.
Yeah. No, but I had to take them out because I would get tonsillitis a lot, strep, whatever. And so I got 5 years ago. Like, I was already a voice actor that was working. Yes, I was a full-on adult.
Isn't that like a kid thing? Like, usually kids...
It's a kid thing.
Like, hi, I want my tonsils. Thank you.
Exactly. And so then I was worried my voice was going to change. And the voice didn't change, but I had some issues with it afterwards. And there's a few lines of Sombra that are a little bit raspier. And, people were like, Sombra sounds different. I don't like this.
They heard it?
Because it was like an ongoing time where I was like, my voice just is doing this thing. And I'm not like, I'll be better in 2 days. It was like, I don't know when it's going to.
Yeah.
So they heard it and they've commented on it.
That's wild.
But I'm back. Sombra's back. Sombra is back. Don't
don't fire me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She's good.
Well, what sucked is my voice was I wasn't sick, but it was blown out from being sick. So all my like nasty symptoms were gone, but then my voice was like, it was kind of like in this weird like sort of like it sounded like this. All my bass was gone.
Sounds fun.
I don't like how I sounded, but it's San Diego Comic-Con, like the biggest thing I've ever gone to for Rivals last year. Yeah. I sounded nothing like my character, for the most part. So I'm talking, and for people to hear me in person, because it's loud everywhere, I literally have to like get up to their ear. Yeah. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to invade your personal space, but I can't talk into that. Oh my, yeah. But yeah, so it was, oh my God, that was like terrifying. But even like on the panel, right? Like, hey, everyone do your ult line. And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to try. And luckily when I did it, it sounded like the game enough that everyone cheered.
Good.
So
okay. Yeah, because
I was so scared. I was afraid it was going to be like, I thought it was going to be like, bored again.
Did you just put a reverb on your mic?
It's just my voice. It's in my throat. Yeah, I did. I have a button here.
I was like, oh my God, what? That was really cool. I was like, oh.
It's my little secret button.
I have a few more projects I want to ask you about that I have pulled up on my computer.
Yeah, and same with you. Yeah.
No. That's not my pseudo British.
It's very good.
Give me a few Adam Warlock lines, just because I don't play, so I want to hear.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, sure. One of my favorite ones. I got to push the button though. I was born to change humanity for the better. That time has come. Wow. So the writing is so beautiful on it. And then another good one is, perfection is unattainable, but that should not stop us from trying to achieve it.
Wow.
He's very
cocky.
wise.
He's a little, but also a little like.
But he actually, because the history behind that line is everyone sees him as the perfect being. He was designed to be the perfect being. So he's blowing off, like a lot of the banter be like, oh, great, the perfect being. And he's like, I don't call myself perfect. Other people do, but shouldn't stop us. But that is funny that your takeaway though is that he's a little cocky too. He absolutely can be cocky, but his essence is more of like
confident.
He's a confident, like, I got your back sort of vibes.
Oh wow, those were great. Those were really, really impressive. Cool.
Maybe I'll get hired one day.
Hopefully, yeah.
Can I request?
Yeah.
So can I hear like there's the ally and then the enemy team raise lines, which I'm like burned in my head. Here comes the party, and then like I haven't played for a year Valorant.
Fire in the hole.
Yeah, fire in the Of those two though, which one do you like?
Here comes the party.
That one is the one that I use the most. And
Of course.
actually, when I auditioned, I did "Here Comes the Party," and then we found a different sort of cadence.
Yeah.
But it's fun to remember those things. And my "Apagando las luces," I think the first time I did a northern Mexican accent. So I did "Apagando las luces," and now I do "Apagando las luces." So
Oh, it's just like more tucked in and straight.
yes,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
straight and not like that sing song because she's from Mexico City, not from the north. So we adjusted, but those were fun. And then she also does EMP activated for the other side.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Well, a question for you though on so you, I know a lot of people. We living in this town, right? We have met, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 days worth, a lot of people, actors, producers, people at the store. And there's very few people that I know like you that have it feels like an infinite amount of energy. So I've hung out with you with the camera and the microphone off and with it on, and it's the same, folks. Like she's got this like, so other than like 2 gallons of liquid Adderall a day, what else are you doing?
Actually, not a lot of Adderall, just a little bit of Stratera, water. No, I do have a lot of energy, but dude, when I crash, like I'm out. And I need my 8 hours. If you give me 9 hours, I am such a happy person.
Okay.
Like I love to sleep. So yes, I need my sleep. And once in a while I'll take a little nap. But yeah, I'm just naturally pretty energetic. I am an extrovert, so like I get energy from like talking with you. So as you're doing voices, it's like you're charging up my battery,
Yeah.
So I'm like
But what about when you're out of that? Because like I feel like for me, I think I'm quite extrovert. I'm more extroverted than introverted, but my God, it's kind of terrifying how much I can enjoy just being alone and not talking to anyone for like days. if when given the opportunity, right?
No, not
like,
days, not days.
Like just a few, I'm not saying like months I hold
No, I
myself
get
up.
that.
I can't, but
I think every day I need a little alone time. But I usually, like, if I've worked a lot all day, I'm like, oh, I want to go have dinner with somebody. Or, like, I like to get out of the house. Even if it's to go to the grocery store, like, I feel like I need a little bit of, like...
you're more on the nose extrovert, aren't you?
Yeah. Again, I need to recharge because it's not endless. So sleep or, like, if I've talked a lot, I definitely, like, so sometimes David wants to play a game and I'm like, I don't want to be active. I need to be passive. So I like to watch a movie. Like, I don't want to make decisions or move things, so I want to just watch TV, and that's where...
Mary and I are exactly the same, yeah. Well, luckily, usually we're pretty aligned in those energies. Sometimes I'll, like, want to play something strategic on a game. She's like, honey, I've been doing decision-making all day, or vice versa. She'll be like, let's play this, and I'll just be like, I'm so tired, I can't. So, yeah.
And sometimes, like, I don't watch reality TV. Some people, like, need that for an escape. Like, I'll choose, like a really, really dumb comedy to watch because I also don't want to think if the plot is difficult. So it could be a bad movie, and I'll just be like, yep, I'm watching this. Because, like, it's just blah.
We've been binging just to, with the current state of the world, like, trying just for escape mentally. Is 80s, just dumb 80s comedies.
Oh,
just
fun.
Like Police Academy movies. Have you seen any of those?
Yeah.
They're just like stupid, silly. Like we're just been, when we can and when we have time, it just, like you said, like the plot isn't that important. It's just like, let's just laugh. It's really
I kind
healing.
of want to start rewatching Friends just to like have that moment. You're like, oh, just 2 episodes,
Yep.
Jordan, I want to ask you about what it was like working on Throne and Liberty.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yes. Wow. I got my characters mixed up. Benny, the character that I was talking about earlier, he's actually in Throne and Liberty, not Lost Ark. That's
okay.
Ironically, in Lost Ark, I play like a big guy who's like this, and a bunch of other characters. So,
that guy's amazing.
anyways, so we already talked about it, but yeah, Throne and Liberty was it's this big RPG, and Benny's right at the beginning of the game, and I think the original language might have been Korean or Japanese. I believe it was Korean, so I had to match the timings of the original actor, but do it in a whiny British man voice.
Oh my God. British man-child. I like that. How fun. So they're all video games.
Yes,
2.
I totally. They have a same, like, I think they're the same type of game, and
Right,
Lost Ark
okay.
is what I said earlier with Benny. Benny is in Throne and Liberty, so thanks for asking. But yeah, those are linked together.
Got it. Okay. And then I also saw JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
So cool. What's Tiziano?
That's
Tiziano?
it's Italian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tiziano.
Yeah, you said you speak Italian, right?
I was Americanizing it for our audience.
I know, but Tiziano.
Tiziano, yeah.
No, that's one of the first animes I've ever done. Ironically,
so cool.
And it's and I haven't my anime consumption / exposure. My life has been very poor, so
Same.
it's just just
Unfortunately.
work, life, etc. We all have our reasons,
yeah.
but so I didn't realize, honestly, I didn't know how big it was until like after I looked it up when I was like,
Oh, how cool.
So I went in and it was just one session for 1.5 episodes, and yeah, I voiced. It takes place in Italy. I think it's in Italy. But it's the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind, season 5.
Yeah.
And Ryan Colt Levy is my partner. We're like partners in crime, and very explicitly, without just saying it, but through our actions, lovers.
And what does he sound like?
Ryan's character?
You.
Oh, speaking of deeper, they're like, can you go deeper? Can you go deeper?
Yeah.
And so he pretty much just sounds like this. He's very down here, and he's very serious. He's like, that is not what we're going to be doing, my Squallow. We have to go over there. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to escape, right? Well, and Ryan's timbre for that character was more like, I don't know. We got to go. So we contrasted. He was the anxious, like rambunctious one, and I was the one to kind of keep everything in control. I was trying to make it's going to be okay. We're just going to assassinate some people, right? So it's a whack-ass show.
People.
Yeah. And luckily, no spoilers, but everyone dies, just like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And JoJo feels like. So it was really cool. It was literally one day or one session, and then it came out. But people still know that character from that one episode.
Oh, that's great.
When I meet him at conventions, and I have original art commissioned for both our characters together. And then now he's Chainsaw Man and so many other characters. Ryan Colt. So it's kind of like a fun origin story of like our anime beginnings.
Oh, I love
that. So yeah,
but then you're also in Pokemon Masters.
Correct. Yeah. You did your homework. But yeah, I voice. I have some art right here that I was scribbling on. Did I scribble anything? Oh, it's a print I messed up. So there's twin brothers.
Speaking that's so cool.
So mirror camera. I voiced the one in black. So hi, I'm Ingo, and I'm a train conductor. Like, all aboard. So he just yelled. I thought everyone would hate him because he yells all aboard all the time. Like, come on, let's go. He's super
endearing,
super loud and pingy and sharp sounding. But and I think my brother Emmett, I think his voice is a bit smoother, kind of like down here. And then Ingo is like, let's go. Like, so that's a fun game. I've had a few sessions for that, and people, there is a whole Deeps fandom. For these two characters alone. And they're like just a random little iteration in the giant world that is Pokemon,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Now, one character I'm fascinated about, or character project, and I haven't finished it yet. I've watched some of it, forgive me, but Morgan's Mask.
Oh, you don't need to watch it. Thank you for asking.
Why? I found your director's cut. That's what I started watching. It's
on YouTube. I have something very short. Oh, I have like the best scenes, like a 20-minute thing.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
we'll talk after.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
It's an indie that we produced in the pandemic, and I didn't write it, but I acted and produced. And it's about Morgan, who is a gamer cosplayer, and she's kind of depressed during the pandemic, like everybody else. And she basically has to find her love for herself and for her art again to kind of get out of the hole and maybe deal with a boyfriend who's not the best for her. And, her mom and sister are very close to her and want to help as well. But everything's like we're all at home talking on FaceTime and iPhone and whatever. And so it's a very lonely sort of experience, but she comes out of it, and so it's close to my heart, and you can find it on Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it, do we have to rent it, or is it like included in the Prime membership?
No, I think it's $4 or something.
Oh, that's nothing.
But I also think it's on Tubi or one of those free ones, so you
can
check it out there.
Yeah, but you probably get a better cut if you go rent it. Yeah. Perhaps.
I'm not worried about the money that we're not making, so just watch it for free.
Sure, but if you want to support, definitely go spend that $4 and give it a shot, because I've seen chunks of it and it's very interesting. I just like how you could tell that there weren't too many cooks in the kitchen trying to like, well, I want it to be like this. Well, I want it to be like this. And they were trying to like make these two vibes work, which can happen in a lot of bigger films.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But
this was bare bones, like very few people making it.
You could tell in a good way because it just felt there was just this grounded and authentic rawness about it, but not to the point where I forgot who's the girl who plays Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. She was talking about when she was pitching her show, and there was a certain network that was like, she's like, they're like, we love it, it's really funny, but can we like make it darker? And she said, I'll never forget. She's like, so they probably just wanted me to have like guy in a basement with like needles in his ball sack scene to make it like dark and gritty. So so needles in the ball sack is like,
That was what comes to mind.
That when I say dark and gritty, or not even dark, but just like gritty, or just more like just there's just a potent realness about it. I don't mean needles in the ball sack real. That's a twisted dark version that some shows have, and it's a flavor. But this did not have that from what I've watched so far. What I mean by it is it just feels like a slice of life without it being boring though. Like you're riding along and you're like, I relate to a lot of this.
There is a darkness that she goes through.
Okay, which I clearly haven't gotten to yet.
She has to come out of it, but yeah, it is kind of like a little reminiscent of the pandemic. So
yeah. So, but that's something you should be really proud of because
thank you,
thank you, because it's hard as like I have not done any on camera, right? And so that is actually my other question to you: how the hell do you juggle both? Because I already know the audition volume we get as voice actors. There's a lot we're just auditioning at home. Audition, and that takes hours sometimes.
Well, yeah, I don't do as many on-camera auditions as I used to. I still audition, but voiceover has taken over. So I still want to do film and TV if it will happen. But it's harder to get those auditions these days. So I focus on VO just because it's where the love is and it's what's coming. So, but it's just, I kind of just was like, okay, well, I have an audition for this and then I have a self-tape for that. And sometimes you go, I'm not right for this, or I don't feel like I want to do that. But for the most part, I would try and get them all in. So, yeah.
It's tough trying to, I just have mad respect for any voice actor who also does on camera. And would you say that the hilarious sketch show you made, Hispanglo-Saxon, did I say it right?
You did.
Oh, wow.
People are like Hispano-Anglo-Saxon. Yeah.
It ain't that hard, but I was still afraid of butchering it, which came from the struggle of you being on camera. Is that right? Of trying to like be Venezuelan enough or Hispanic enough, or just where did that come from? Because it's hilarious.
It was out of the drama and trauma of my life. I was always being told that I was too white to play Latina and too ethnic to play Caucasian for on-camera roles. So even if I got hoops or got the big fake Latina boobs, or I dyed my hair dark brown, I went tanning, like I tried all these things, but I was always like, and I have angular features, so I don't look as Mexican as they want or as Puerto Rican or whatever. So it's just kind of like me making fun of real life situations that happened. They're all kind of like based on my life, and they're 3-minute sketches where I play all the characters, and it's usually me going into an audition or talking to somebody that assumes I'm not Hispanic, and just kind of the ridiculousness of it all. But that was me finding an outlet to create characters, to make something, because I wasn't getting to do on camera work, and I had all these characters in me and accents and languages, and so I was like, how can I do something? So it's literally me and an iPhone and some wigs. So
it's really inspiring because like I think anyone, voice actor or on camera, has the desire to do that, who has because we all have characters in our mind, whether it's imitations or just original characters. And it's definitely got like I've done a little bit of like, nothing to the degree of where it's multiple characters in a whole 3-minute montage, but just little things like for a course I made with audio stuff. I have a character named Anxious Andy, and he really is a part of me because like I can be anxious sometimes. So I made him to identify with people trying to learn like how to what cable does it go here or here? And he always has a meltdown in every like all 3 skits that I make that are very short and simple and just him.
Yeah.
But, what's up?
No, my computer pinged and I apologized.
I didn't. I actually didn't hear it, so it's all
great.
Good. But it ruined my performance. No, but it feels good though, because like Anxious Andy, that character of mine, is absolutely a part of me.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm not just like cool and like I'm very chill, but
Yeah.
I definitely have high levels of anxiety in varying situations. And so,
We all
especially
do.
when not feeling, you know,
Yeah.
of like from school and stuff, like test taking, I just like, I couldn't, it was
Yeah.
crippling to me because I knew
Yeah.
I was going to fail.
Yeah.
So there's those, it feels really good, like you said, as an outlet. Like
Yes.
you can do it through music, slamming on the guitar, or you can literally just perform these characters. And I just want to
Yeah.
encourage anyone listening. There's a lot of, like, I'm sure as you've seen at cons, like artists, right? Even so, if you're not
Yes.
more of the performer type, the get it out of your pie hole and your face
Yeah.
hole type, you can channel it through like an
Yeah.
instrumentation or through doing art, which I can't even draw a
Or a
stick figure.
comic. Like I feel like
Comic, yeah.
anything that just feels creative. And you know, I didn't spend money on this. It was what I had and what I put on YouTube. And now we have TikTok, and now people are doing this a lot. And but I think this becomes a little bit of a calling card if anybody ever goes to your socials and they see, wow, your art is really beautiful, or oh, your characters are cool, you could probably handle this. Like it's just, it becomes our resume and our website of sorts. If we're just creating for the sake of feeding our artistic soul, I think it can be helpful for us, but also at some point to show the world what you can do, you know. So.
Yeah. Which is honestly something I like. I do a little bit of streaming of the Rivals game and interact with the community, and something I try to encourage so many people to do, because all of us have just different gifts and talents.
Yeah.
And it is just one thing, especially if it is a creative talent, it doesn't have to be, but any skill or whatever you have, if it's something that you enjoy and that you're good enough at, the world deserves to see it. I know it sounds really cheesy,
Yeah.
but like, just you don't owe it to the world, but in a way, you don't owe it. But what I try to tell people is, like, the world is better by knowing, like by seeing whatever you create, whether it's a song or a piece of art. And so don't hide it.
You never know who's going to come across it, and you're going to make their day, or it's going to help them get out of a tough situation.
Yep.
Or they're just going to say, holy cow, that was beautiful. And then it goes back to you.
Yeah. It's just kindness and encouragement in general is highly contagious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way more contagious than negativity and trolling and hate.
This is such a great way to end. I was gonna say, like, what a perfect little, you know. In Spanish,
and the message of the day is
a golden brooch to end this like awesome conversation. Is there anything else that you'd love to share with our listeners?
No, I do.
Where can they find you on the
one thing?
socials?
Oh, I'm pretty easy. Well, if you search for Jordan Reynolds, I think I dominate those. But it's like Jordan's Voice on Instagram and TikTok, and then Twitter, something else, and blah blah blah. I'll never call it X. But so I'm pretty easy to find around in places. How about you?
Same, Ravassa for the most part. My
Just
last name
Ravassa.
is everywhere. Yeah,
Your cool ass last name. I love it.
It's cool, right? It's good.
One thing I just want to point out, I thought this was very interesting, because you and I was looking up our IMDb's, and we both have we're both like just shy of 100 in credits for actor credits. We're like just a few digits away. But that's like in the actor, because there's like you and I have been in other stuff that doesn't get the cast part. So technically, you've been a producer, you've been a director. My sound alike stuff gets pushed into like the sound department. Okay. But point being is, I thought that was very interesting that we're both like super close to hitting that 100 cast mark.
Nice.
But what's also interesting is that you would think we would have worked in a lot of projects together, and we've only worked on Dune together.
Isn't
Dune
that
Awakening.
Crazy?
Yeah.
And I'm some random characters you come across by mistake somewhere, so I don't even know where
same.
you find me. Yeah.
We're a bunch of names.
Great,
but we're in the Dune. Like, it's so cool. It is such a beautiful game in the franchise. You know, it's just fun to be like silly characters.
Yeah.
I think mine was like, did you do any of the radio plays?
No.
Okay. No. I'm literally only on the radio plays. So I don't even have a face or anything. So it's just like you can turn on the radio in some cars and some plays happen. And I think I'm some characters on there.
Cool.
You know?
Yeah, no, I'm some NPCs that you talk to in different, like in some Russian, Slavic places. And then I'm suddenly Irish in one particular place. And then I don't know. It's fascinating.
That's that's so cool. Yeah. They just worked us in all our accents. I think I did like a general, like Eastern European sort of bad guy. And then
basically.
I'm going to chop off your finger right now. Don't look. You know.
Yeah.
But
basically. Yep.
But I wish we were more projects together, but I thought, because usually when someone has a similar amount of credits, there's like 5 to 10. But
this is it's going to happen in the future. That's
hell
what's going to happen. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But I just want to point out that
Yeah.
fun
and
note that we're at
almost
least in one game
100
together.
Is a big deal, dude.
Hell
That's
yeah.
cool.
We'll get a cake.
May 2026 be the year where we work together past the 100 mark and get some really cool projects going. So.
And sing more.
And sing
more music stuff. Let's do it.
Thank you for making time for this. This was
thank
super
you.
Fun.
Thanks for getting my ass to do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Woo! Thank you.
Awesome. Well, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Peace.